Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Cell Club podcast. Let's drop that beat.
Drop that beat, let's talk truth today. Freedom got a price, but we chose this way. Yeah. Not passive, not easy, but it fits our life. Sell a club, real talk. Let's get into it.
Hey, Ken.
What up? What up?
Welcome to another episode with me.
And with me.
With me.
So
There's
welcome.
only two of us again.
Correct. Welcome to everybody that's listening. We appreciate your continued support. We see all the views on our end. No, it's been fun. It's super fun. And we are on the second month of the year already.
We sure are. And I know everyone misses Glenn, but he says hi and he'll be back.
Yep. He'll be back.
Yeah.
Last time I heard, spoke to him, and he is a very light sleeper. So every time the baby,
So having a newborn is difficult.
yeah, and then
For anyone, it would be.
He
difficult.
said that if the other one wakes up too, then they have to be up.
Yeah, double trouble.
Yeah. So they're, I'm sure. So he needs all the sleep he can get. So yeah, February. The shortest month of the year. So are we having 28 days or 29?
28. And this is a perfect February where it like starts on, is it on a Sunday and ends on a Saturday?
Oh.
So satisfying for those of you fellow calendar files.
So we literally have 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Like 4 weeks. So
like exactly.
So that's fun. Well, I guess it's been a week. When you guys are listening to this, how's February?
So far my February is pretty good. I'm seeing, like we talked about during our Snow Day episode, I'm seeing the effects of having listed a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
Even like I especially notice it on my like Monday shipping after the weekend, after about a week after I had listed all that, the Monday after, I noticed that like the vast majority of things that I was shipping out were the things I had just listed. And that actually does harken back to something that I heard about all the time on the Scavenger Life podcast, where they would talk about how some percentage of your new listings is always going to sell fast for whatever reason. And so that's always like a nice little boost to the momentum in your store when that happens.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to say in newer products, right? And or probably, and I tell this to everybody, sometimes we discount how better we become over time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
When people say like, oh, like my old products are not selling, I'm just extreme ownership kind of person. Maybe you suck up picking back then.
Probably. At least you did more than you do now.
Right?
Most likely.
Yeah, so that's kind of like, and again, I tell everybody too, that in the factor of the better products that you listed then already sold.
Yeah, right.
So that's a combo of, the percentage of your newer listings sells fast. There's a percentage of it selling faster sooner.
Yep.
I think that's the cream of the crop. Like, I mean, like, it may not be to us, but at that very moment, it is in the market.
Well, in terms of demand and supply and whatever, the relative quality of the other listings and the pricing of the other listings, like there's so many factors. But, that's something I love about having reselling at the center of my work in life is that it's not rocket science, but it does involve some skills. And that means you can always improve.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of like things that you can have an influence over, even though, you can't wave a magic wand and have $1 million in sales your first month if you want to. Like, it doesn't really work like that.
Yep.
But at least in my experience, it doesn't work like that. But I love that there are these areas of skills that we can develop. I mean, that's a huge reason why we have this podcast, because we're always trying to grow and do better. And there are a lot of ways to do that.
Yep. And also, we talk about a lot of good stuff here.
We do.
And you brought up
we try to be pretty optimistic.
You brought a pretty good topic that, and I could let you explain it more, but, kind of like what I'm getting out of it is, in every good, there's always gonna be something not good and necessary.
It's like the pit in the middle of the avocado.
Yeah, it's like the pain before losing weight, the soreness of muscle before building muscle.
Right.
And I think there's a lot. I don't have a list. I told Anna I'm gonna wing this because
Shocker.
you're gonna get the most real,
Oh yeah.
the most real reaction. Um, and we say this all the time, right? Because like, oh, I'm a reseller, I control my time. Sometimes that's a for some people that's a pro,
Yes.
but for
and
some
for some people it's
that's
a
a
con.
Yeah, right, right. So it's
Yeah.
a positive and a negative thing. So yeah, why don't you introduce it better to
Totally.
everybody?
Okay, well, I'm just going to officially dedicate this episode
Oh, right, correct.
to our new friend Vernon
Mhm.
because he actually brought this up to me. He had been listening to some of our other
Mhm.
episodes and was like, "Do you guys have an episode that talks about, a lot of the downsides of reselling?"
Right.
And I thought this is a really great question because in my opinion, like a lot of media or I don't know, just public conversations about this kind of stuff, it's really biased negatively, and you can endlessly complain about stuff, right?
Correct.
Like,
Yeah. Like
misery,
anything, right? Yeah.
misery loves company. However, I do think there's so much value in being realistic about your expectations when
Mhm.
you're going to start reselling or you want to move and improve in your business. Like, you need to be realistic about it. And the truth is there are downsides. And we do talk
Yeah.
about them, but we've never done a whole episode that's really all about that. So
Yeah.
this is for you, Vernon. Here it is.
Yeah, I call it trade-off,
Mhm.
right? Like that's kind of like, for example, right? Like there's no perfect car, there's no perfect vehicle, right? Because at one point I had like a Volkswagen Tiguan and I loved it so much. I thought it was like the perfect daily until I started hauling 150 pairs of shoes and I start hating it because I needed to rent a minivan or I needed to get another vehicle or it was too nice to drive in the winter and everything like that. So it's like there's a trade-off for everything. And that's why I think we could really talk about this because I've come to a conclusion that there's a tool for everything and there's a purpose for things, right? Like for example, like we going back to the e-commerce, right? um as much as people say like I eat reselling day and night, that's not really it, right? Like because it's like, yes, maybe when you're starting up you have to, but if once you become seasoned at it,
Yeah.
or once you had some years under your belt, it can't be eat sleep reselling, because then you're just gonna experience all the cons about it.
Yeah. That's kind of a path to burnout, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I mean, even like you were already mentioning before with managing your own schedule,
Mm-hmm.
that is, to me, that's a huge pro, but it is stressful in its own way. Like,
Right.
not only are you responsible for scheduling everything and figuring out how it all works together, but like you have to hold yourself accountable. You have to make a lot of decisions that you don't have to make every day if somebody else is making them for you.
That is true.
I mean, for me, I know what I prefer hands down. I still prefer to accept that with the cons. I'd rather do that than have somebody else managing my time for me. But it isn't perfect or easy all the time. And honestly, like, to me, that's the biggest overarching thing that's a downside, especially when I think about this from the perspective of somebody who's just starting out. Like,
Mhm.
this is not passive income. It
Yeah.
is a lot of work.
Yeah.
So that's just important to expect out the gate. But the question isn't like, is it a lot of work or not? Like, even though it is, you can still leverage your time by listing, and minding your profit margins and minding your processes, like, and making things efficient. It's still a great investment of your time if you do it well. But it is a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, just like anything, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's really no getting around that, but that's not necessarily all bad.
I think it's not solely exclusive to eBay or reselling.
No.
It's business, right? In general, um, anything that, unless you franchise a store,
Yeah.
that must be, or like you franchise a reselling shop, or like you franchise a brand. Let's say like, hey, I want to own a franchise of Foot Locker, or I mean, they don't even franchise those, but some sort of setup like
Right.
that. It's not gonna be turnkey, right? So
Right.
systems are not gonna be there. So let's start with that, right? Like, the reason why it's gonna be like eat, sleep, reselling, because beyond the activity of the commerce itself, of buying, listing, and selling, that's the most simplified way of thinking
Right.
about it.
Right. And shipping.
And shipping, right? With parts of selling,
Right. That's
but
part of selling.
but around it is, again, I guess shipping falls in there, logistics, right?
Yeah.
There's so many multiple departments under your business,
Yeah.
which an entrepreneur has to do all of it. At least a startup, or I would say a sub 3-person operation, you'd have to know everything about it.
For sure. And even if you are somehow outsourcing something right from the get-go, you have to know what it takes. You have to know what needs to be done.
Yeah, or
you probably have to train someone or learn by, failing forward. Like, there's a lot to that.
So I think that's it. Like, it's not a turnkey. That's the biggest it's the biggest con, I guess, of this business. You
right.
And there's, because it's like very driven to like location too, right? Location.
Oh yeah. There's so much variation.
Your own skills, right? Like, there's no, I guess if you worked at an e-commerce store, you have a leg up, right? But there's no turnkey, because even though you did, you're not going to be selling the same products that you were, right? Let's say I work for a fulfillment company. Like, I probably know how to ship really well. Oh, and then next thing you know, you put me in a situation where I need to list and store and ship clothing, which is different from what I used to ship. So, I think that's the biggest con. It's not a turnkey system, which requires a lot of upfront work, and not just work. So there's the physical work, and like you said earlier, you have to do so many decisions, and that's when mental.
The mental load of it.
I think that's the biggest thing, and I thought I've solved it by being physically
fit,
kind of like fit now. That there are times I'm like, man, like, why am I tired? Like I didn't,
you wrung out your brain,
right? And then like, dude, that's what I told Jason. Like, I ran 3 miles yesterday, I was fine. But again, looking back at it, it's like, oh, I didn't make 50 million decisions yesterday, but today I did. I didn't run, but I did. So that's it. Like, I think time, the effort, right? It's both the effort put in, because you think about it. Like, would you agree that it's a big jump start? Right?
Yeah,
it's a big.
Well, and the good news is, for a lot of people, that's great. Like, that's where they're at with it anyway. They're excited, right. They're ready to like launch it, and it takes a lot to do that, but I'm thinking about what you've been saying about it's not turnkey. So that's kind of like a myth almost, that it's passive income or that it's turnkey. And I just wonder, like, do you feel like there's still a lot of messaging out there about that's trying to promote it as it's so easy, just do this,
I think it's right, because it's the message that makes it glamorous.
Right. And honestly, probably some platforms are like leaning into that in their messaging. Oh, it's just so easy to sell your stuff in your closet. It's just, they make it really simple, and they're always striving to make it more simple so that there's lower barrier to entry, right?
Yeah, I would say that it is that, if you don't depend on it for income.
Yeah.
Because then you really cannot measure yourself, basically. Right? If it's a hobby, right? It's not really like, you can't really, like, you can always say like, oh, I'm always going to have a paycheck. So
Yeah.
Anything you do without external monetary and time bounded expectation,
Yeah.
it's gonna be fun.
Ken, I know for me, I'm coming up on running my store. It'll be 9 years in May.
Yeah, it'd be 9
And
for us in March.
yes, and just
Yeah.
thinking about not being turnkey at the start, I think another, like, maybe the next topic kind of to piggyback off of that is that there's no such thing as set it and forget it. And
No.
I used to, like, I mean, like, on a large scale, there's no such thing, right? Like,
Right.
yes, you can create a listing and you can leave it there till it sells.
Eventually it will sell. Like,
Yes, but as a business model, you
mm-mm.
have to, at the very least, set it and then monitor and tweak it occasionally.
You have to.
I don't think there's any such thing because the platforms change, the market changes, your sources will change, your profit margins will change. You know, like, you have to be
it happens.
up on what's going on in your business and looking ahead a little bit, right?
Yeah, so yeah, that's a good again, unless we could find limited iPads.
Right, we need that truckload of
But
special
still,
edition iPads.
even right, even at that point, a product could get old and could be outdated.
It could.
So, now the newer iPad comes in, and if you have that sitting there,
Right.
then you have a new competition that has, for a few $100s more, you get better this and better that, right? So I 100% agree that it's definitely not. It's definitely not. And you know what's crazy? More than ever, I've been adjusting and tweaking my listings more.
Did you used to think it wasn't worth the time, or
no? Because I guess
you thought you were perfect.
My strategy was like what do you call that? Like, I've always been like the middle of the pack of pricing.
As far as like pricing,
right?
Yeah.
Like, because at some point you have confidence of the product already, right? Like,
right.
Let's say if you're past that, when you're in the middle of the pack, which is kind of like a middle and high, is always going to be dangerous because somebody could just always undercut you, and then now it just pushes you to the next following day or next transaction that's going to happen. So that one is, I come to realize that, and then now I'm tweaking it. I'm tweaking my checking comps more now.
Yeah.
I don't know,
like,
maybe
more than anything else, is that what you're updating?
Yeah, the pricing. Yeah, I'm at a point where it's pricing. It's more like, yes, pricing and pricing strategy, right? Like, for example, like $100 shoe, right? Like, it's more attractive to sell it at $150 and then run a $50 off discount.
Oh,
so
yeah.
there's a strike through, like, formerly $150.
Look at this giant deal I'm getting.
Yeah, I guess it's, like, now you're playing into the buying habits of people, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, we've discovered coupons. So I've been using coupons, and coupons are like working so good.
That's
because
awesome.
There are people that don't use best offer. They'd rather use the coupon. So it's like, there you go. Like, if they have a, hey, can I get a better deal? I'll say, use Hustle B15 at checkout.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, deal, right? Like,
they're like, don't mind if I do.
Yeah, so I think
is that a plug for your store?
No, it's actually not. It's actually not.
It's not a live coupon.
So, like, it has to be unique. It has to be unique to your store. So if somebody has used it, so I'll probably have like something different, like save Hustle, because like it will give you an error if you don't use if you don't use a unique one. So I'll probably use different ones already, but yeah, it's usually kind of like plastered in the listing title.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's definitely not a set it forget it, unless, well, again, all the caveats here are, if you're listening, all the caveats that could make this into a pro is if you have multiple $1 million in your bank account, then it don't matter. I would just buy all vintage shoes. I would just buy all the shoes, and eventually they'll become vintage 20 years later.
That's right. Just wait it out.
Yeah, so it's not set it and forget it, unless you're a connoisseur of antique, and you could see the future, what's gonna be good.
Right. You need a crystal ball,
Yeah.
unlimited funds,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
patience. A lot of patience.
Yeah. So yeah, I think yeah, that's a big con. Because you could say like, oh, I'll just invest in a stock, and that's a set it and forget it.
That index funds is set it and
Right,
forget
right, right.
it.
Or
Yeah.
you buy like precious
Right.
material, like you buy gold and silver. Set it and forget it, because again, it's only that if there's no monetary and time expectation.
Yeah. Right. If you're like, I need a monthly income from this.
Yeah,
Right.
you'd have to buy $1 million worth of gold.
I
You
wonder
know?
how many people who have just years long death piles like accidentally end up selling vintage stuff because they never got around to listing it for 20 years. I bet that happens.
There's a guy in Japan that when it's I don't know if it was accidental, but he was definitely betting on the future. So back in the 90s, all the Jordans that Michael Jordan wore,
Oh,
went to clearance, because
oh my
that was
gosh.
the model at that time, right?
Right. And
But
they
it
had
just
it,
so
time was marching on.
right, and it just so happened that Michael Jordan was producing a shoe every year. So Michael Jordan 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, technically, he won on the 7. I'm quizzing myself now. So
Like, I
8,
can't even correct you. I don't know this story.
6, 7, 8, 9. He won a championship.
Oh my gosh.
The shoe, the Jordan 6, 7, 8, 9, and there's a middle in between. There's an overlap because he would introduce the new shoe for next year,
Yeah.
and then there's 10, 11, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Kind of like, so those shoes went to clearance, right? Especially the first 3 championship, and then the second championship they went to clearance. My favorite was the Jordan 12, the flu game, and they went to clearance. So he bought them all and just put them on storage.
Oh my gosh.
And then come 2016, 17, 18 hit. So what? That's 20 years.
Yeah.
Golly, I think it was like $69 when he got
When
them.
it was on clearance.
Yeah, he bought and
Which that's a lot in the 90s.
Yeah, and he bought
70
like
bucks?
he put it on a storage unit and just stored them.
Wow.
And then the crazy part is that's how my intro to eBay. I got on eBay to find those 1996
wow.
Michael Jordan shoe, and I bought them. And the dude's in Japan.
Are they all sold now?
Oh, he still has some. I forgot his eBay store, but I have it saved.
Oh my
but,
gosh.
But I'm not sure, because obviously I really stopped collecting after that. After 2018, I stopped collecting. But the crazy part is the market dropped. So I think he captured it the perfect time, because
Yeah.
at that point
Because you know how much you paid for 'em.
right. It was $600.
Oh
It
my
was
gosh.
$600 a
Do you
shoe.
still
Like,
have those?
yeah. Well, at one point I had 6 pairs of them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I didn't know
I
that.
had 6 pairs of them, and some of them were crumbling already, the midsole.
Oh,
So
wow.
I had to take it to crazy part. I knew a cobbler in the Philippines, so I sent it back to the Philippines and told my mom and dad to bring it back to me when they flew and visited me.
Right. When
so-
it's intact again.
Yeah, so it was, and that one I still have. Like it's because
Yeah.
they used real leather before.
Yeah.
So, but now that shoe is like $200.
That's wild.
So and I know he cashed out on that era because it was the hype era,
Right.
and yeah, that would be the only way. So 20 years. So yeah, it follows suit on the 20-year vintage model.
I know. So, what are the celebrity endorsed models that we should be buying
Right,
on clearance right now and storing?
God, well, it has to have some like value of like being a champion,
Like cultural value.
right?
Yeah.
Like I think Kobe's are gonna be like that someday,
Yeah.
but he's still like within 10-year range. We
Right.
won't really know. But also Nike has this pattern of they're just gonna make more.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that would still apply on that in just sneaker collectors category.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe like tickets. Like I've seen tickets, right? Like old tickets, memorabilia.
Oh yeah.
So maybe you just have to collect all the tickets in every game. You
Yeah,
go outside
right.
the stadium and be like, "Hey, can I have your dead ticket?" And then
Right.
just stash them all.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
that
that's
is a
so
great idea.
smart.
Because those are tiny and easy to store.
Yeah, because next thing you know, like there was like that was his last game, or that was their last Super Bowl run.
Right.
I'm sure. Yeah, that is. We're into it, but it might
Ken's
be a
like,
con. 20 years later, it might be still a con.
Yeah, Ken's like, I'm gonna edit this out and go do that idea and let you know in 20 years if it worked.
No, yeah, it's a con.
That is super interesting. So, okay, yeah, think like I'm trying to think of more cons, more like realistic, where your older sibling telling you like it is.
Oh,
like,
I have one.
Okay.
The way we're reselling now, we use different platforms to resell through.
Mm-hmm.
Right, we use eBay, Whatnot, Poshmark, Goat, StockX. Some people
Mercari,
prefer Amazon,
Depop,
Mercari, right?
Vestiaire.
You're always going to be at the mercy of the platform.
Yeah.
That's a con.
That is a con.
That's
one of those things that you really cannot control.
I don't think people realize that is a big con.
So what do you mean by that? Like,
because
why does that affect you to be at the mercy of the platform? Because on the positive side, it's like the platform is what's giving you the audience for your
100%, right?
But, yeah.
But also, yes, they give the audience. But I've always believed that you could never bring the same audience that they're bringing you. So, for example, eBay, right? Oh, update news. We hit 20 mil in impressions last month.
Oh, yeah. You were like close to it last episode.
So it was like 19 something. So we finally hit. So thank you for everybody that dropped off and didn't turn off their ads.
Yeah.
Because now my ads are performing better.
Right.
Perfect example, right?
That is, yeah.
Ad changes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Technically, we're
gonna attribution changes.
Yeah. Next thing you know, like we're actually gonna pay more.
Right. The good old fashioned selling fees are going up.
Right.
I can't tell you how many times that's happened since I've been on eBay.
That's it, right? We're at the mercy of them. That's a big con.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that I think about. Like I have to swallow it and say, like, okay, I'll roll with this, right? Like this is probably the punches that I've had to learn to roll with it. When eBay brought authenticity guarantee, like that was a debacle for the buyers, because the buyers that they've had, the millions of buyers they had, always expected it from me in 2 to 3 days.
And now it's
I was
taking
shipping priority.
longer.
It's taking double that, right? Yeah. And I didn't have control. I'm like, oh, I don't want to participate in that. Like, no, you're on a platform. We going there, buddy.
Yeah, right.
that is a con. And all the other changes, right? Would you agree?
Yeah. Well, it's always something that you have to adapt to, which takes your time and effort and attitude to do it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it like really impacts your business model and totally changes something about it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't. I mean, I do think, not to be like too positive in this segment, but I do think that a lot of those examples of what I just described are positive changes where it simplifies your process and it actually helps your business. That's the ideal. But a lot of things don't. A lot of things
more complicated, really,
right? Even if it's better, like in the long term, it's like it's a whole thing to get it onboarded into your business model, into your flow, and like normal for your daily life activities.
Right. Put it this way: if you're a Poshmark seller, right, and you want to expand into more markets, you jump to eBay. You know how big of a con that is, because you have to figure out shipping. Poshmark, they send you a label.
Well, that was one that I actually was about to mention, is that shipping is complicated.
Yeah, it is.
And even though it is different from platform to platform, but even if you're just on eBay like I am, it's like It is complicated. There's a huge learning curve. I think that's one of the biggest barriers that people have to starting because they don't want to get ripped off and accidentally way overpay for
Yeah.
shipping or
Yeah.
not know the rules or not know the
Yeah.
dimensional guidelines. And it's a lot of information. I think it's gotten much easier over the last 9 years.
It's gotten streamlined,
But
yes.
some things are just complicated and or like you were saying, the platform chooses to present you with a lot of options and therefore it's complicated.
Yeah. So that's what eBay's doing,
Yeah.
right? You got
Which if you like more control, you have to deal with more decisions and more complication.
then the more fatigue that you have.
Right. But if you want it to be super simple and easy, maybe that's decided for you and done for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is one, right? I mean, even Whatnot has changed their shipping policy, their shipping options throughout the, since I've been selling there. Before when we started, it was only priority. It was everybody was super happy. Now they added ground advantage. Now everybody's like, oh, which one should I like? Golly, pick one, right? That's why I always say pick one.
And now there's also, as far as I know, besides Amazon, no other platforms have their own logistics. I mean, like maybe Walmart.com or like a big retailer like that.
Yeah.
But like as far as the smaller platforms.
Yeah.
So guess what? We're all at the mercy of the carriers to not lose
carriers,
our packages.
UPS, USPS.
Drop kick them onto our buyers' porches.
Yeah. Again.
That's a struggle sometimes. I mean, stuff definitely gets lost.
Like, especially like claims, it's my first time I had to claim through USPS.
It's not fun.
I've never lost anything over like $50. So it was kind of like an easy, like if I lost something, it's like, okay, here's another pair of clothing.
Yeah.
Because my clothing's usually, sub 70. But this time it was a bundle of clothing.
Ugh.
$120.
Boo.
And it's
you want that back.
I want that back, right? And it's just I mean, like, I was counting to it because it was like, golly, I paid $20 for the bundle.
Yeah.
My cost, and then I sold it for $120 plus shipping, and I was like, this is money, baby.
That's a Benny. Benjamin.
Yeah, and then it was during the holidays. It's still stuck in Miami right now. Still there. It's still there.
And did you already have to refund the buyer?
Well, I usually don't, but eBay twisted my arm, and this is the first time that eBay didn't cover that. eBay probably like, man, Ken's running up the tab on us.
Right, that's $100, Ken.
Right? So I had to give the money back. I'm out of product.
Yep.
I have a defect. For, and then I asked for an appeal, and my appeal was denied. So how about that as a con?
I know. So did you open a claim with USPS or what did you do?
Yeah, I did. That's my first time doing a claim with USPS.
Because I feel like eventually they'll probably pay that out. It'll take forever, but in my experience, lost is actually better than damaged. The last time I had something arrive damaged,
that is true. Because you have to prove it.
Well, yeah, but even like, I mean, the buyer actually sent me photos of the damage, and they said, we need you to turn in the item with the packaging. And hello, honey, I don't have the item with the packaging. My buyer has it.
Yeah.
So I would have to refund them, have them send it back for me to maybe take it to a post office in person, and then maybe they'll, like, no. I'm not doing that. That is not worth my time.
Yeah, so...
But luckily, it wasn't super expensive. But
that's a big con.
Yeah.
That
shipping can have problems.
And it's not like we're dealing with our local, right? It's not like our local mom and pop shipping station. No, this is like it's a federal company. Like,
which, if you remember,
USPS.
Whenever we recently had Stu Reichenbach on the podcast, he was talking about eBay's insurance and how it's simpler and better than the carrier insurance. And I actually have started using that whenever I need to add additional insurance. I've started using that now because I believe him that it would be easier and more likely to be reimbursed.
Yeah, because would email Stu if it wasn't.
Yeah. Hey, Stu.
For him
look
to
at
recommend
my claim.
For him to recommend that. Yeah, that is true though, But didn't eBay say that you're not going to be out of one or the other?
Yes.
I remember that.
That was an update at eBay Open this past year, and it's in a very specific situation that was like a weird loophole because I had that situation happen in the last year So I'm trying to remember what the details of that were. It was
Right.
I mean, it might
But mine
very
wasn't
well,
covered, right? My situation wasn't covered.
well, it might be, but if that, because that was the whole thing. It's like, if you are not going to get the product back, you can't get it back, and you are out the
Yeah,
money and the product.
right.
Basically, they're
So
trying to avoid that.
double
So,
whammy, right?
but
That's
that's
what
why I was
happened to me.
asking. I think it's possible that you are still just in the middle of that, and it will time out at some point, and then that will kick in, and they should give you a refund, and they should remove the defect.
Yeah.
From what I understand, but you just might not have been through the entire time period of that process yet, so you should check on that.
I wonder can we retrieve packages like that? Can we send a reroute
Through what?
USPS?
I don't know.
I mean, return to sender notice.
Did you file a missing mail claim?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all you can do.
Yeah.
And that's supposed to ping it in their system.
Yep.
So I'm not sure. I mean, if it arrived there, maybe that was the situation. If it arrives there anyway.
Oh, yes. That's
I think
true.
that is what it was.
I know. Yeah, correct. If it gets marked delivered months later, it don't matter.
Even if it's 6 months later, then they'll make it right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that could still happen. Or if it gets sent back to you.
Yeah.
Then it's delivered also.
Yeah.
If it has an end to the tracking, then something should happen there.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about crabby buyers? Speaking of things we have no control over and are unpredictable.
It's called the block button.
That's just a reactive option though, right? You can't prevent every crabby buyer.
No. Especially when they're just nickel and diming you. That's
oh my gosh.
At this point it's golly, now I'm more afraid. And big con, right? When you've had bad experience, you tend to carry it moving forward, and you're trying to hedge against it. Like this person, right? Remember I told you we started measuring our items, right?
Yeah.
So this pants length, right, from the waist to the bottom, 27. It was a women's denim.
Okay. Ooh, and jeans are tricky.
Right. And then lady, I'm assuming it was a lady because it was a lady's pants. Lady sent that not as described. It's not what your measurement was. So I'm like, okay.
Show me.
And then she proceeded and sends a photo, and it's the exact same length, 27. And then this person sent another photo, and now it's 26. So somebody scoot the measurement over
what
on the
on
very
earth?
And I'm like, wow, you just told on yourself, and there's nothing I can do.
That actually has happened to me before too, where someone got a vintage item, immediately damaged it as soon as they got it out of the package, and told on themselves in the message. And I'm like, I'm really sorry. You just admitted that this arrived in perfect condition and you ruined it. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Give you half your money back because you're clumsy? I don't know.
Yeah, so
that's
that one's a big con, right?
Yeah. I had a message today from a buyer, and it was for a pair of clogs, some Sherpa lined, really cozy winter clogs, right?
It was too warm.
No, they hadn't ordered it. They were just messaging me in the listing. And this is, mind you, this is instead of purchasing the item, instead of submitting an offer, instead of a number of other things that they could have done to interact with this listing. They chose to message me and say, hey, DSW has this shoe for $114 right now, and they have a return policy, which, by the way, so do I have a return policy, but here nor there. So will you take $50 for these? Because I don't know if they're really going to fit me. And I'm like, I said, no, go ahead and order them from DSW. I literally said that back to her, because I'm like, why would I take less than 50% of the value of this item because you don't know if the shoe will fit you?
Right.
And you're telling me you could pay more than double somewhere else and be able to return it. And by the way, you can also return it to me, but I'm not going to encourage you to do that because you obviously are not a buyer that I want buying from me. So, what is that? And in most of those kind of cases, I would just ignore that message and never respond to it, which is not best practice. Like, I think, the activity on your listing is good. Providing good customer service is good. But sometimes I'm just like, are you kidding me? Did you think through this before you typed it? Like, I'm not going to respond to that because I just am annoyed by it. So I don't. But you could. If you were a better person than me, you would respond nicely to it.
I used to be, and not gonna lie, I've blocked a few people.
Yeah.
That I know it's gonna be headache already.
For real. And so Vernon, since this episode's dedicated to you, do as we say and not as we do.
Yeah. I would say go right. Also, again, through experience, you'll know which ones are gonna be the problem or which ones are just being a quote unquote mom and making sure everything fits.
Yeah.
And I've been very lenient about those things because perfect example, like, mom bought a jacket for the kids. One wears a large, one wears a medium, and medium was too big, and I was like, well, like, yes, we can exchange as long as you ship the item back, ship it back. But again, I was very like, you have one thing that I've learned is you have to be really like black and white.
For sure.
About like instructions, like
yes, very clear.
Right, you have to pay the shipping label as soon as I inspect it. It's in the same condition,
right?
Like it didn't fit,
like,
but he
wore it out.
Yeah, right. It didn't fit, but he wore it 2 weeks. Like no, no. Like the same condition you receive it, brand new with tags.
Yeah.
And this is when I was like, oh, this is gonna be a pain, right? But then she was like, well, like, can you give, instead of doing this, can you just give me like a discount on the small, and I'll just keep the medium. That way, when he grows out of the small, he'll have a medium. And I'm like, my brain was like, whoo,
like another sale,
yes. But at the same time, it's like, oh, it turned out into a sale, like. But again, I'm glad I didn't block her, because I could have like ended the transaction there. But again, that's it, right? Like, because you get scarred.
you definitely do. Scarred and just like fed up, right?
Yeah. So
like, that's one thing that I think I would like to think that a lot of the reason whenever I don't respond, I just ignore messages. Like, it's part of the decision fatigue thing. And all the million things my brain has to do today to run this business, I am not going to give away any of my precious energy on this. Like, and that's fair. But
so you're saying like you didn't deserve me today.
I'm saying I don't have the bandwidth for this question now, and I'm going to forget it exists by tomorrow.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's not the greatest. So speaking of downsides, that's a downfall of me as a business owner. but I try to I try to respond whenever I can. But there are just times that I'm like, no, I'm past the limit already. I'm not doing it. Okay, so why do you think, with all of these cons, and there's more, we can keep going through more if you have more burning a hole in your pocket. No. But I would kind of like to like flip the question over, if you will, and ask like, so in light of all of this, why is it still worth it? Like, why is it still worth doing if you have to accept the reality of all these non-glamorous like downsides of doing this as a business?
Because I'm winning the trade.
Can you elaborate on that?
Right? And that's really it, right? Like, when you're trading something,
the trade-off's working in your favor.
When the trade-off's working in your favor, no way somebody's gonna complain about it.
Yeah.
Right? Kind of like, like selling a shoe for $150, so you paid for $50, and the dude's trying to nickel and dime you. It's like, I'll pay you $125 right now. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, twist my arm. Okay. That's what I feel about being a reseller, having an e-commerce business. But before we move there, though, there's a big con.
Oh, what is it?
It's lonely.
Yeah.
It's hard.
See, but this one, you have more control over than you probably
Yeah,
think.
because you can be
So it
friendly.
is
You can
it
be
is
friendly
still a
like me.
con. You can be
It's a con though. It's a con. It's a
It is a
con.
con because
It's still a con, and I'm already
Yeah.
friendly, and it's still a con for
it's
me.
a problem you have to solve on purpose,
Yeah,
right? It's kind of a sneaky one. It really is.
it
kind
is
of a
sneaky
one.
because you can still feel alone even if you have friends because it's never never a similar situation. We could always
Yeah.
talk about like, oh, I've had this, like no, like,
But at the end of the day, like you have to tend to your business and
Yeah.
I have to tend to my
Yeah,
business.
yeah,
And when
it's-
we're co-working, we're not helping each other's business directly.
yeah.
We're still having to run our business
Yeah,
by
so-
ourselves. Yeah.
So, but again, the trade-off
Yeah.
is, I think ultimately, my personal, I guess, win for all of this is being able to build something that has a proportionate result to the
Mm.
effort I put in.
Interesting.
I feel like it's a very direct correlation of result and proportion.
Yeah.
It's not like, I put in 10 hours and then I make a $50 sale. Like, that's not proportionate.
Right.
But once you get into a rhythm, right? You're clocking 4 to 8 hour days. If you do the math at the end of the day, and if you've built your store right to kind of like how you envision it, it's paying off.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I like about it a lot. But again, it's still a con because it's directly proportional. So if you slack, your store will slack.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
the good trade off is I'm a chaser. I'm an achiever as a person. So it plays to my advantage.
Yeah.
Because I'm always not
You
gonna
thrive
be like,
in that situation.
Yeah. So I think that's the thing. And at that point it's just personal fit, right? Like it's like, does it fit the lifestyle you're trying to build? And I
100%.
think that's where you could chime in on that part.
Yeah. I mean, goodness of fit is just about the whole
Yeah.
caboodle. Like that is so important.
Right.
I think for me, like just thinking about specifically selling on eBay, because I'm still really only on eBay. I keep threatening to do a cross-listing experiment and haven't done it. But well, I did one, but I haven't done another one in years at this point. So just selling on eBay, running the store as the center of my work. I mean, eBay has a ginormous user base. You know, like we were talking about earlier, if you tried to go hang out your own shingle and build your own website and find your own audience, the amount of time and money that you would spend trying to market yourself, and like for me, for like a miscellaneous kind of seller, like eBay is the place to be, in my opinion. It's the best place to do this type of business, I think. And part of that is because it has the most most intricate processes and seller protections and data available. Like, I don't know where else I could get all of that on the level that eBay continuously provides and improves it. And also it's the win-win proposition. Like, I believe in this so much. And I know that other platforms are similar, but I'm not as convinced, right? That like the way that eBay is like, we don't win unless you win. That is the business model and has been since day one. We don't make money if you don't make money.
Right.
Like, that to me is like a big security blanket on like, why, like if I'm going to be at the mercy of a platform, like you said, I want to be at the mercy of a platform in that kind of arrangement.
Yeah, that has kind of like a face forward leaning to that, right?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Again, for all the skeptics, right? Like, we've been to eBay, so they say, we drank the Kool-Aid, but at least that's what they show.
Yeah.
Right? Whether you believe it or not.
Well, that's
it
the
is
thing.
there, right?
That's why I believe it. Not because they said it to me, but because I already knew based on how things operate. Like, yeah, they're a corporation and they're making money, but like, I know that whatever's in my best interest as a seller is also in their best interest. Like, I love that those things are linked together.
Yeah. No, I agree on that one. Yeah, I think it's crazy how we name a lot of cons in, and we just, like, we could sum it up in one or two things
Yeah.
that, I guess, if you think about it, there's a lot of things. I hate washing dishes, but I love to eat. you know, like,
That was the whole cow right there. Ken.
right? Like, man, like, especially.
Have you heard of a paper plate?
Yeah. Oh, trust me, I'm there. But there are food that I love to eat that paper plate cannot hold it, or it will not taste the same.
The only choice is to have to do dishes later.
Right. It's kind of like, man, I hate, especially now, I hate getting gas.
Oh, 'cause it's so cold.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
But out of everybody, I probably drive the most. So, so I'm like,
yeah,
no, I gotta suck it up, right? Like,
yeah.
And all the other things, now I have to do more oil change. I have to do more maintenance because I drive more. But again, like, are those things stopping me from driving more? Like, no. Like, again.
Yeah. It's like it's worth it.
Yeah, there's gonna be. Yeah, I guess that's the title. It's worth it.
Right? The downsides and why they're worth it. Well, honestly, I think this is a good framework to really wrap up this conversation and think about it going forward, because that's the question in the mind of a new beginner is like, is it worth it? Like, people are willing to try stuff out for sure, but like, that's what they really want to know is like, if
it's worth it.
Yeah. Is it worth it or not?
Yeah. Or even somebody that's been selling for a while, and then now they're asking themselves, like, crazy to think, like, 10 years or a decade is right around the corner for us. And, we ask that question, like, is it still worth it? And are this, the necessary things of the must do still worth it, or still fuels what we're trying to accomplish?
Well, and honestly, like, right now in the kind of current economy and stuff, like, I've heard more and more people who have been selling a long time asking that question. Do I need to have a backup plan? Do I need to, go back to some kind of part-time work of what I used to do before? Like, is it kind of like, is it still worth it? Or maybe the question for them is more like, is it worth it to do what it takes to continue having this as the main thing? Because I might have to really change it. It might have to take up a lot more than it used to. Of my efforts or resources or whatever. So and you got to ask the question.
You have to. To. And again, it's gonna be very situational to. Because like.
Oh yeah, everybody's situation is different, which goes back to goodness of fit, like you're talking about. Does this actually work for you or not?
That's why, like, you have to, right? Like, consider and really evolve around what you are trying to do. You're trying to accomplish.
Right.
Because again, like, I'm not in a position to jump to a warehouse, but everybody thinks I should jump to a warehouse. I'm like,
sure sounds fun.
It's fun, right? But
sounds
again,
so exciting.
But again, I've talked to people that have had warehouse. I'm like, I don't want the problem. I don't want problem. It's not worth it, right? Like, we say that out loud. But so far, I think building something, and I think this is my sentiment for this: building something that you care about, that doing a little bit extra to polish something, to make something nicer, to photograph something better, to care about your listing better, to trying to find a deal that makes a win-win for you and the customer buying it. If that's something that you have some heart into, then I think reselling or e-commerce is for you. Yeah.
And you do have to get in there and figure out how to do it in a way that it's worth it, right? Yeah. That it's worth the hurdles, it's worth the downsides. Yeah. And well, go ahead.
I think worst case scenario, we could work at the e-commerce is just getting bigger.
Work for someone else who's
work for an e-commerce, right? Right. You don't want to get the headaches. Like, I could be a really good shipper for somebody.
For sure.
Or I could be a photographer for somebody's store. So that's kind of like how I look at it. there's a lot of skills that we get to learn doing what we do that could translate into real life.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people say like, oh, I'm not gonna be hireable. Like, no, you're more hireable now than ever.
Right. If you
'Cause it's-
recognize the skills. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's so true. That's a great point. Well, we are probably not going to give it away entirely, but we have some really fun stuff like coming right around the corner with Seller Club, and we're going to bring you along with us to quite the adventure. So please stay tuned. We may even be able to have a special guest host. He doesn't even know about this yet, so I'm not gonna say anything else about it.
We're gonna throw him in. No matter if he wants it or not.
We'll get his consent on the record to guest host with us. But guys, it's going to be a really fun next couple of weeks. So stay tuned. And of course, Ken, do you want to talk about our sponsors?
Sure. I mean, like a con, but it's a pro. We make money in this business. So we have to report. I hate
making money.
Yeah, we have to report taxes. We have to get our books right. And one of the products that me and Anna have used multiple years now is Seller Ledger, and also a proud sponsor of this podcast. So make sure you check them out. Follow them on Instagram at Seller Ledger. It's simplification of your numbers and being able to understand it and being able to evaluate it as often as you want.
Yep.
So all API integrated. So make sure you check them out.
They have a fantastic blog too. So if you're ever worried about missing something important that's going on in the world of finance or taxes that relates to your business, you will never miss it if you just follow them.
Yep.
They're on it.
So we thank you all for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode. Peace.
Bye-bye.
All right now. Ain't no shortcuts on a road like this. Freedom sounds good, but it comes with shifts. Some days heavy, some nights long, but the work still hums like a steady song. They don't tell you about the quiet way. When you choose your path, you choose to play. Not passive checks, not overnight, just showing up and doing right. Once you see it clear, you don't complain. You just learn the rhythm of the game. Every choice costs something true. You just pick the cost that fits you. Oh, this ain't easy, but it's honest work, built on days that don't always shine. This ain't perfect, but it's mine to earn, and I choose it again every time. Freedom ain't free, but it feels just right. When you own your days and your restless nights, trade a little comfort, gain control. Trade fast wins for a steady soul. Ain't about flexing, ain't about loud. It's about standing still and feeling proud. When the lights go low and the books all close, you'll know you built what you chose. Oh yeah, if you're feeling tired, that don't mean you're wrong.